The Social Animal by Elliot Aronson in 21 minutes. Let's go. What is social psychology? Social psychology explores how individuals' thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are influenced by the actual, imagined, or implied presence of others. It examines how people perceive and interpret social interactions, how they form and change attitudes, how they are influenced by group dynamics, and how they conform to social norms. Social psychology also studies phenomena like aggression, prejudice, attraction, and helping behavior, aiming to understand the underlying psychological processes that drive social behavior and interactions. It combines insights from psychology and sociology to provide a comprehensive understanding of human behavior in a social context. Conformity. Conformity is the tendency to change our behavior or beliefs to align with group norms. Solomon Ash's famous line experiment is a key illustration, where participants judged the length of lines. Despite the simplicity of the task, many participants gave incorrect answers to conform with the group, highlighting the power of group pressure. There are two main types of conformity. Normative conformity. This happens when people conform to be liked or accepted by the group. They may publicly agree while privately disagreeing. Informative conformity. This occurs when people conform because they believe the group has accurate information, especially in uncertain situations. Several factors influence conformity. Group size. Larger groups exert more pressure. Unanimity. The presence of a single dissenter greatly reduces conformity. Cohesion. Stronger bonds within the group increase the likelihood of conformity. Status. Higher status of group members increases conformity pressure. Prior commitment. If someone has already made a public commitment, they are less likely to conform. Conformity is not always negative. It can promote social order and cooperation. However, excessive conformity can lead to negative outcomes like groupthink, where critical thinking is suppressed to maintain group harmony. Mass communication, propaganda, and persuasion. Mass communication involves the dissemination of information to large groups of people through media channels like television, radio, newspapers, and the internet. The primary goals are to inform, entertain, or persuade the audience. The impact of mass communication on society is significant, shaping public opinion, cultural norms, and even individual behaviors. Propaganda is a form of mass communication aimed at influencing people's attitudes and behaviors in a biased or manipulative manner. It often involves the use of emotional appeals, selective information, and repetition to shape public perception. Propaganda can be employed by governments, political groups, and organizations to control or influence the masses. Specific techniques include littering generalities, using appealing, vague statements that evoke positive feelings but lack specific meaning. For example, slogans like "hope and change" can be powerful but are open to interpretation. Bandwagon. Encouraging people to adopt certain behaviors or beliefs because everyone else is doing it, leveraging the desire to belong. Card stacking. Presenting only one side of an argument, often by cherry-picking facts to support a particular stance while ignoring opposing evidence. Persuasion involves influencing someone's beliefs, attitudes, intentions, or behaviors through communication. Unlike propaganda, persuasion is typically more balanced and ethical, focusing on presenting arguments and evidence to convince others. Key elements of persuasion include source credibility, the trustworthiness and expertise of the communicator. A credible source is more likely to persuade the audience. Message content, the clarity, quality, and logic of the arguments presented. Effective messages are well structured and supported by evidence. Audience characteristics. Understanding the values, beliefs, and prior knowledge of the audience to tailor the message accordingly. Persuasion is more effective when it resonates with the audience's existing attitudes and experiences. Several theories and models explain how mass communication, propaganda, and persuasion work. Collaboration likelihood model. This model suggests there are two routes to persuasion: the central route, which involves careful and thoughtful consideration of the arguments, and the peripheral route, which relies on superficial cues such as the attractiveness or credibility of the source. Agenda-setting theory. This theory posits that the media doesn't tell us what to think, but it tells us what to think about by highlighting certain issues and topics. Cultivation theory. This theory examines how long-term exposure to media content shapes perceptions of reality, often leading to a distorted view of the world. Social cognition. Social cognition refers to how people process, store, and apply information about others and social situations. It involves understanding how we think about ourselves and other people, how we interpret social interactions, and how we use this information to navigate the social world. First, the perception of others. This involves how we form impressions of others based on available information, such as appearance, behavior, and social context. First impressions can be powerful and often influence subsequent interactions. Secondly, attribution theory. This theory explains how we determine the causes of other people's behavior. There are two main types of attributions. Internal, dispositional attribution, assigning the cause of behavior to an individual's personality or character traits. External, situational attribution, assigning the cause of behavior to external factors, such as the environment or specific situations. Thirdly, stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. Stereotypes. Generalized beliefs about a group of people. They can influence our expectations and interactions with individuals from those groups. Prejudice. A negative attitude toward a group of people based on stereotypes. Discrimination. Negative behavior directed toward individuals based on their group membership. Fourthly, self-concept and identity. Self-concept. The beliefs and perceptions we hold about ourselves, including our traits, abilities, and values. Social identity. How we define ourselves in relation to groups we belong to, such as nationality, religion, or professional affiliation. Fifthly, social influence. The ways in which individuals change their behavior to meet the demands of a social environment. This includes conformity, compliance, and obedience. Cognitive dissonance. A psychological discomfort that arises from holding two conflicting beliefs or behaviors. People are motivated to reduce this discomfort by changing their attitudes or behaviors. Heuristics and biases. Mental shortcuts that simplify decision-making but can lead to errors in judgment. Common heuristics include availability heuristic, estimating the likelihood of events based on their availability in memory. Representativeness heuristic, judging the probability of an event by comparing it to an existing prototype in our minds. Emotional influences. Emotions play a crucial role in social cognition, affecting how we perceive others, make decisions, and interact in social situations. For example, fear can heighten our perception of threats, while happiness can increase our willingness to help others. Theory of mind. The ability to understand that others have thoughts, feelings, and perspectives different from our own. This is essential for empathy and effective social interactions. Self-justification. Self-justification refers to the process by which individuals rationalize their actions, beliefs, and feelings to maintain a positive self-image and reduce cognitive dissonance. Key aspects include rationalization. People create plausible explanations for their actions to make them seem more acceptable. This can involve reinterpreting the situation or focusing on the positive aspects of the behavior. For instance, if someone cheats on a test, they might justify it by saying everyone else was cheating too. Minimizing responsibility. Individuals might shift blame to external factors or other people to avoid feeling responsible for negative outcomes. This helps preserve their self-esteem by deflecting accountability. For example, someone might blame their bad behavior on stress or peer pressure. Confirmation bias. People tend to seek out information that supports their existing beliefs and ignore or discount information that contradicts them. This selective information processing helps reinforce their justifications. For example, someone who believes in a particular diet will focus on success stories and ignore evidence of its ineffectiveness. Changing attitudes. Sometimes, people change their attitudes to align with their behavior, making the behavior seem more acceptable. This is often seen when someone engages in a behavior they initially disagreed with but later comes to accept it as reasonable. For instance, if someone reluctantly takes on a challenging job, they might later convince themselves that the job is beneficial and worthwhile. Post-decision dissonance. After making a decision, people often feel dissonance about the choice they didn't make. To reduce this, they enhance the value of the chosen option and devalue the rejected one. For example, after buying a car, a person might emphasize the benefits of their choice and downplay the advantages of other models they considered. Effort justification. When people put a lot of effort into a task or goal, they want to believe it was worthwhile. They justify the effort by valuing the outcome more highly. For example, someone who has gone through a difficult initiation to join a group will convince themselves that the group is exceptionally valuable. Moral licensing. After doing something good, people feel they have earned the right to do something less good. This helps them maintain a balanced self-image. For example, someone who donates to charity might feel justified in indulging in an expensive treat. Self-justification is a fundamental aspect of human psychology, helping individuals maintain a coherent and positive self-concept. It influences a wide range of behaviors and attitudes, from everyday decisions to significant life choices. Human aggression. Human aggression is a complex behavior that involves the intent to harm another person. It can manifest in various forms, ranging from physical violence to verbal abuse and social manipulation. Several factors contribute to aggressive behavior, including biological, psychological, and social influences. Biological influences. Genetics. Some research suggests that genetic factors may predispose individuals to aggressive behavior. Brain structures. Areas of the brain such as the amygdala and the frontal lobes are involved in regulating aggression. Damage or dysfunction in these areas can increase aggressive tendencies. Neurotransmitters. Chemicals in the brain, such as serotonin and dopamine, play a role in aggression. Low levels of serotonin, for instance, have been linked to increased aggression. Psychological influences. Frustration-aggression hypothesis. This theory posits that aggression is often the result of frustration when an individual's goals are blocked. The frustration creates an aggressive drive, leading to aggressive behavior. Social learning theory. Proposed by Albert Bandura, this theory suggests that people learn aggressive behaviors through observation and imitation of others, especially if those behaviors are seen being rewarded. This is explicitly seen in children. Personality traits. Certain personality traits, such as high levels of impulsivity or a low tolerance for frustration, can make individuals more prone to aggressive behavior. Social and environmental influences. Cultural norms. Cultural attitudes toward aggression can influence how often and how severely people engage in aggressive behavior. Some cultures may view aggression as a more acceptable means of resolving conflicts than others. Media exposure. Repeated exposure to violent media can desensitize individuals to aggression and make them more likely to engage in aggressive behavior. Group dynamics. Being part of a group can sometimes lead to increased aggression, especially in situations where group norms support aggressive actions or where there is a perceived threat from another group. Situational factors. Alcohol and drugs. The use of alcohol and other substances can lower inhibitions and increase the likelihood of aggressive behavior. Heat and discomfort. Environmental stressors like high temperatures and overcrowding can increase the likelihood of aggression. Provocation. Direct provocation, such as insults or physical attacks, can trigger aggressive responses. Evolutionary perspectives. From an evolutionary standpoint, aggression can be seen as a behavior that has evolved to help individuals survive and reproduce. For example, aggression can help in defending resources or establishing dominance within a group. Gender differences. Research indicates that there are gender differences in aggression, with men generally displaying higher levels of physical aggression compared to women. However, women may engage in more relational aggression, which involves harming others through social exclusion or gossip. Reducing aggression. Education and awareness. Teaching individuals about the causes and consequences of aggression can help reduce aggressive behavior. Conflict resolution skills. Training in conflict resolution and communication skills can provide alternatives to aggressive responses. Environmental changes. Altering environments to reduce stressors, such as improving living conditions or reducing overcrowding, can help decrease aggression. Prejudice. Prejudice is an unfair opinion or feeling about a person or group without actual experience or reason. It often targets people based on race, ethnicity, gender, religion, or sexual orientation, leading to discrimination, which is treating people unfairly because of their group. Social learning. We learn prejudice from others, like parents, friends, and media. If we see others being rewarded for prejudiced behavior, we might copy it. Realistic conflict theory. Prejudice can come from competition for limited resources like jobs or housing. When groups compete, they may develop negative feelings towards each other. Scapegoating. People sometimes blame their problems on others, targeting weaker or minority groups as a way to vent their frustration. Cultural factors. Norms and values in society shape prejudice. Societies that value equality and diversity tend to have less prejudice, while those with strict hierarchies may have more. Reducing prejudice. Intergroup contact. Positive interactions between different groups can reduce prejudice, especially when they have equal status and common goals. Education. Teaching about the causes and effects of prejudice and encouraging empathy can help reduce it. Laws and policies. Enforcing anti-discrimination laws and promoting inclusive policies can reduce institutional prejudice. Cognitive training. Helping people recognize and challenge their own biases can reduce automatic prejudice thoughts. Prejudice is a deep and complex issue that affects everyone. Reducing it requires changing how we think, behave, and how our institutions work to promote fairness and understanding. Liking, loving, and interpersonal sensitivity. Liking refers to positive feelings of affection and admiration toward another person, often based on factors such as familiarity, similarity, and reciprocal liking. Proximity, or physical closeness, increases the likelihood of forming relationships as frequent interactions often lead to liking. Similarity, where people tend to like others who are similar to themselves in terms of interests, values, and backgrounds, also plays a significant role. Reciprocal liking, where knowing that someone likes us increases our liking for them, fosters stronger relationships through mutual affection. Love is a deeper, more intense emotional connection compared to liking, and it can be categorized into different types, such as romantic love, companionate love, and familial love. Romantic love is characterized by intense emotional arousal and attraction, often involving passion and desire. Companionate love is a deep, affectionate attachment characterized by feelings of mutual respect, trust, and affection, common in long-term relationships. Familial love involves strong emotional bonds and loyalty between family members. According to Robert Sternberg's triangular theory of love, love consists of three components: intimacy, passion, and commitment, with different combinations of these components resulting in different types of love. Non-love, none of the components are present. Common in casual interactions. Liking, friendship, intimacy only. Characteristic of close friendships. Infatuation, passion only, marked by intense attraction without deeper connection. Empty love, commitment only, seen in long-term relationships that have lost passion and intimacy. Romantic love, intimacy and passion, typical of new romantic relationships. Companionate love, intimacy and commitment, found in long-term friendships and marriages without passion. Fatuous love, passion and commitment, often seen in whirlwind romances without deep intimacy. Consummate love, intimacy, passion, and commitment. Ideal form of love, combining all three components. Interpersonal sensitivity refers to the ability to accurately perceive, understand, and respond to others' emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. It involves empathy and social skills, with empathy encompassing both cognitive empathy, understanding another's perspective, and emotional empathy, feeling what another person feels. Sensitivity to nonverbal cues such as facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice is crucial for effective interpersonal interactions. Active listening, which involves paying close attention to what others are saying, providing feedback, and showing that you value their input, is also an important aspect. Factors influencing liking, loving, and interpersonal sensitivity include personality traits such as agreeableness, openness, and emotional stability, which contribute to higher levels of these behaviors. Cultural norms influence how people express and perceive affection and sensitivity, with different cultures having varying norms regarding relationships and emotional expression. Experiences and socialization also shape how individuals approach relationships and interact with others, with positive relationship experiences enhancing sensitivity and empathy. That's it. The Social Animal in 21 Minutes. A link to the book is in the description. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and share your thoughts and experiences with the book in the comments.